Hey friends, let's discuss that Eagles win. It was not as easy as I hoped it would be, and sure as easy as anybody else hoped it would be. We're going to discuss 3 things that possibly could have gone wrong overall that could explain why they didn't perform as well, and most of it's going to come down to one drive to show them all. First off though, the game was statistically very tight other than third down conversions and the 3 turnovers. The Eagles got the 3 turnovers, but the Packers were significantly better at third down, 7 for 13 versus the Eagles 2 for 11. Putting that all into context, Saquon Barkley could have changed up the yardage and the score significantly, but took the slide. All right, so let's talk about that last Eagles drive with like 30 seconds left in the end of the first half. Keep in mind, if they score a field goal, they're up 2 touchdowns and 3 scores, depending on how it works out. And if they score the touchdown, well, wow, now the game feels salted away. And they don't. 2 incomplete passes on second and third down, and then the punt after the attempted to draw them off sides. So this can come down to rust, this can come down to coaching, and this can come down to defense. I feel like Hurts was rusty, but he started 6 for 6. So is he rusty? I don't know. Was it something with the rest of the team? I mean, the pass to Dobson was not what we normally think from a quarterback who's on. And I can tell you, I have an office job. I was out for 2 weeks for the holiday season, and I was rusty coming back, and it seemed like everybody was. So maybe it's rust. Maybe we've knocked that off, and they will be ready to go. Second factor could be coaching. You know, I'm not a big fan of Sirianni. Let me put this in perspective. I don't think he is the kind of coach who is going to make a difference for you winning, but he's a coach that's good enough for you to win if the rest of the team's around him. Just like the quarterback situation. Fortunately, we have a running back and a defense that make up for that, give you those things that are over the top, and so you can win a Super Bowl with Sirianni. But sometimes his decision-making process really confuses me. He's not aggressive in the way I would want him to be, like Dan Campbell. He's going to go for it on 4th down anytime the numbers tell him to, and sometimes when the numbers tell him not to. What that philosophy does is it sets up a situation where you're in front of the sticks more often than other teams because you're going to go for it on 4th down, which means that 3rd and 6 is not a scary situation because you only need 3 or 4 yards to give yourself a convertible 4th down. Whereas Sirianni seems to randomly go for it at times when the numbers suggest he shouldn't, and not all the times when the numbers suggest he should. So it's more of a feel thing, and I think that inconsistency can hurt the team. But also, he gets aggressive when he shouldn't have been. Like, I get it. I mean, even Brady was like, listen, just get yourself into the field goal range, then take your 2 shots into the end zone. And they didn't. They had the timeouts. They could have run it, used the timeout, and then seen where they were on 2nd and 5. But they didn't. I think that was a big waste of an opportunity. That field goal was too important for the fans, at least, our hearts. But Sirianni missed it. Is that the kind of thing that's going to cost them a Super Bowl down the line? Possibly. Can the team catch up and make up for him if they perform in a situation where he makes an iffy call? Yes, so the team can outperform that situation, but it is the scariest of the 3 options. The third option, which I think benefits the Eagles altogether more than any other team left in the playoffs, is defenses have caught up to the offenses. We've been hearing it all season from different commentators. People talk about, the run game's back. That's another sign that these defenses have caught up to the offenses. If you watch some of the more advanced television shows, they're going to show you how they're hiding their cover 2s to stop the offenses. And so unless you're against an elite quarterback, which there are some in the AFC, these defenses, and the Eagles defense in particular, might be able to hold down the team. Look, putting everybody down the way they did, that's part of a hard-hitting defense. That is the football I grew up on. The Giants and the Bears of the 80s. They didn't win because their defense was just better. They won because their defense was better and got the best players out of the games with legal hits, which is what we saw the Eagles doing to those defenders. Wide receivers yesterday. So if it is defense, it benefits the Eagles. And I think we can go ahead and win the Super Bowl. So hopefully some rust is going to... So in recap, right? A, go Birds, go. B, fly Eagles fly. Now, Sirianni is a good enough coach, but he does scare me at times. The team's going to need to overcome some situations that he may call the wrong call, but I think the team has his back enough for them to go ahead. He is the scariest factor for me, has been all season. Hurts is as good as Hurts is going to be, would be a problem. again, if the coaching can overcome it, Saquon and the defense can take them against any team, including Buffalo, Kansas City, and even Lamar and the Ravens. But third, defense might just be the thing. And if it is, and we've seen it in many tight games since the Minnesota-Detroit game, the pass rush can get there, will disrupt, and they can take this thing. Go Birds. Fly Eagles fly.